Yo, what's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be going over the MLB slate on DraftKings and Yahoo for Thursday, August the 29th. In this video, we're going to cover the 6-game night slate. I did make a video already for the early slate. There are 4 early games today, so if you want to check that video out, I would really appreciate it. It is already up on my channel. Just go to my channel and you'll see the video for the early slate. We're going to talk about the main slate. In this one, we're going to start off with pitching, work our way through the player pool. I'll be sure to hit on all the pitchers that I like for today. Then we'll talk about 3 specific hitters I really like. We'll go over some stacks that I'll be going to. And then towards the end of the video, we will cover some BVP plays for those of you that are interested in BVP. Before we do get started, guys, I would appreciate it if you would drop a like on the video. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe button down below so that way you don't miss out on any of my new videos. But that's the top of the pitcher player pool today. Jacob deGrom is our most expensive option on both sides. He is $12K on DraftKings, and on Yahoo he's at $55. So deGrom, I would say, is in a pretty tough spot here, having to face the Cubs at home. He has already faced the Cubs once this year. Wasn't that good, just 22 DraftKings points, 6 innings pitched, 8 hits allowed, 2 runs, 9 Ks, 22 DK points. For 12K, for deGrom to be a guy you have to have at 12K, you're going to need him to put up at least 30 DraftKings points, I would imagine. I feel like there are guys for cheaper that could possibly outscore deGrom today, so I don't feel like he's going to be on my radar. He's not going to be someone I try and pay up for on this slate. Just like the options for cheaper, like on DraftKings, you have Hyun-Jin Ryu for $1,500 cheaper against the Diamondbacks. On Yahoo, Ryu is $10 cheaper. That's a lot of savings you're getting. Even Lance Lynn against the Mariners is in a really good spot. This Mariners team just really bad offensively and does have a lot of strikeouts in his lineup. Lynn's a guy you could go to. Then you have like Chris Paddock facing the Giants. You have Alex Wood against the Marlins. There's just a lot better matchups, guys in better spots for cheaper. So I'm not going to be paying up for deGrom. On DraftKings, I like to really save at pitcher. I'm going to be going to Paddock as my SP1 today. On Yahoo, you could definitely use Paddock as an SP1, and then we'll talk about Alex Wood. You could play Alex Wood at SP2. But I like going to Ryu at SP1 on Yahoo at $45. I like those $10 in savings you get from deGrom. Like if Ryu was like $52, $53, I wouldn't be playing him today. I'd just rather play deGrom for $2 more, but Ryu's $10 cheaper than deGrom, and those are some pretty significant savings. So I like going to him on Yahoo. On DraftKings, I think Paddock's a pretty good play at SP1. I'm going to be using Paddock as my SP2 on Yahoo, though. I do like him quite a bit at $38 as an SP2. Just going over the Paddock, this is a really good spot for Paddock facing the Giants in Oracle Park. Oracle Park, where the Giants play, is the most pitcher-friendly park in baseball. You see low totals in this ballpark pretty much all the time. No surprise today, 4.2 total for the Padres, 3.9 for the Giants. With Derek Rodriguez on the mound, you're still seeing a really low total for the Padres. I think Derek Rodriguez at $4,600 on DraftKings is definitely in play as a value pitcher today. But Paddock I like a lot facing this Giants lineup. Does have some strikeouts in it. Great ballpark to pitch in. I think Paddock just gives you a lot of upside at this $9K price tag. He's a guy that I'm going to be going to quite a bit. Things have definitely been rough for him lately. That's kind of why you're seeing the price tag so cheap. But he has had some tough matchups facing the Phillies in Philadelphia, facing the Red Sox, facing the Dodgers. Now he finally gets a pretty easy matchup facing the Giants in Giants Stadium, which, like I said, is a very pitcher-friendly ballpark. So I like Paddock quite a bit at $9K. Then for SP2 on DraftKings, I'm going to be going to a lot of Alex Wood at $7,900. Alex Wood gets the benefit of facing the Marlins in Marlins Park, which is just one of the best ballparks to pitch in, along with the Giants Stadium. The Marlins Stadium is one of the more pitcher-friendly parks. Low total for the Giants, really to no surprise, just a 3.9 implied run total. Pretty good spot for Wood. He's going to face a lot of righties, which is not great. You would prefer that he face more lefties. But the righties that the Marlins are rolling out are not scary. Garrett Cooper, Castro, Harold Ramirez, Austin Dean, Alfaro, Brinson, these guys just are good hitters. Pretty good matchup for Alex Wood. He's not been that great this year. He's only had like one good start against the Braves. Other than that, things have been pretty bad for him, but he has had some tough matchups facing the Pirates, facing the Nationals, the Cubs, even the Cardinals. I guess you could say it's a tough matchup. Now he gets probably the easiest matchup he's had at all of them, or easiest matchup he's had so far against the Marlins. So I like Alex Wood quite a bit as an SP2 on DraftKings at $7,900. Like I said on Yahoo, if you want to really pay up for bats and go to Alex Wood at your SP2 at $34, you could definitely do that, but I don't feel like that's really necessary. since you can get Ryu and Paddock and still fit in some decent bats. But now going back to DraftKings, just talking about some other pitchers we could play. There's not really much that I like besides like Paddock, Wood, DeGrom, and Ryu. Not even that big of a fan of DeGrom, but Ryu, Paddock, and Wood. The one guy, though, that I do want to talk about if you're going cheap, Derek Rodriguez for only $4,600 facing the Padres at home. Rodriguez is always in play for me when he's at home, especially when he's dirt cheap, and he's dirt cheap today. It's a pretty good matchup as well. The Padres do have a lot of strikeouts in their lineup versus right-handed pitching. It's a pretty bad lineup as well with no Tatis. You have Greg Garcia leading off, who's not a great hitter. No Will Myers, so you have Josh Naylor in there. Machado's tough out. Eric Hosmer's been pretty good this year. Renfroe has a lot of power, but easy outs with Garcia, Naylor, Mejia, Margot, Urias, and the pitcher Paddock. So I do think if you want to pay up for some bats, if you want to stack that Coors Field game, going to a guy like Derek Rodriguez at only $4,600 does make some sense as a value pitcher. But let's talk about some bats now since we've pretty much covered pitching. I think there's one key spot on this slate. Coors Field, 7.1 implied run total for both teams. Chichi Gonzalez and Trevor Williams pitching in this game. This is going to be a game that I look to get a lot of exposure to. Starting off with the Rockies side, I really like Charlie Blackmon and Daniel Murphy on both sides. So Blackmon, really no surprise, is a great play anytime he's at home in Coors versus a righty. Definitely a guy I'm going to be trying to pay up for today in the outfield. Really on Yahoo, he's not even that expensive at $21. Guys like Marte, Aquino, Reynolds, Jeff McNeil, all these guys are more expensive than Blackmon, which really doesn't make a lot of sense. And then at first base, Daniel Murphy is like the easiest play of the day at only $13. Don't know why he's that cheap. But Murphy I like a lot as well in DraftKings at $4,500. Definitely going to be a guy that I go to quite a bit. I just really like the Rockies here facing Trevor Williams. Trevor Williams has really struggled this year. Even in good matchups, we've seen him really struggle. Like he got blown up against the Nationals, really struggled against the Angels, giving up 5 runs, gave up 6 runs to the Brewers. Just hasn't had that great of a year. Now he has to face the Rockies in Coors Field. I imagine Williams is going to struggle again. There's a lot of lefties in this Rockies lineup that can hit Williams, Blackmon, and Murphy, obviously two that come to mind. But Ryan McMahon, when he's been at home in Coors, he's been great versus righties. Sam Hilliard, I don't know much about him, but he's cheap and he's 4K. He's a guy you could look to for value in the outfield. And then the righties are not easy outs either with Story, Arenado, and Desmond. So I really like this Rockies team. They're going to be my favorite stack on the slate. And I love Blackmon and Murphy from the Rockies side. Going over to Yahoo to fill out my 5 plays for Yahoo. A cheap outfielder I really like, assuming he leads off. Jock Peterson's only $9 on Yahoo. He's definitely going to be someone I play quite a bit as a one-off. I don't have a ton of interest in stacking the Dodgers. They do have a 5.4 implied run total. I guess if you wanted to go there, you could, but I just really like this Coors Field game, both sides. I like the Rangers against Felix Hernandez. I think you could definitely consider some Mets bats against John Lester. Looking at Yahoo pricing, like Cody Bellinger for $19 is a really good play. Peterson for $9 is a really good play. I guess you could go to like Seager. So you could probably do like a 4 or 5 man stack of Peterson, Muncy, Turner, Bellinger, and Seager. But the two guys I just really like from the Dodgers, looking at Yahoo's pricing, are Peterson at 9 and Bellinger at 19. Don't think I'm going to be full stacking the Dodgers just because I prefer some other teams on this slate. They do have a lot of upside though here versus Merrill Kelly. Kelly has struggled a lot to lefties this year. We know how good this Dodgers lineup is versus righties, how much lefties they have, or how many good lefties they have. Peterson's obviously one of them. Assuming he leads off, he's an easy cash play on Yahoo, just easy one-off at only $9. Just way too cheap. Then going back over to DraftKings to fill out my 5 plays, I did mention the Rangers. I do think the Rangers are in a pretty good spot here against Felix Hernandez, playing at home in Texas where it's going to be 92 degrees, very humid, 58% humidity. Felix Hernandez is definitely a pitcher we want to pick on. He's not good anymore. Just not the same pitcher that he used to be. These Rangers bats aren't that expensive either. Only hitter over 5K is Danny Santana, and then everyone else is under 5K. And you have a lot of value like 5 through 7 with Solak at $3,700, Odor at $3,700, Logan Forsythe at $3,300. I like Solak a lot. He's only $3,700 at second base. This is a pretty good hitter, at least in a small sample size that he's been with the Rangers. He's been pretty good so far. He's batting .320 with the home run, 972 OPS. And if you look at the DraftKings game log, it's been pretty consistent. He's getting you points pretty much every start. He's only $3,700, and now he gets to face Felix Hernandez, a terrible pitcher, in a great hitter's park in Texas. I do like Solak quite a bit as a value at second base. You could definitely play Odor at the same price, but I think I would prefer Solak over him. So these are my 5 plays today for DraftKings and for Yahoo. Now going over some stacks I like, then talking about some BVP. There's really 3 stacks I'm keying in on this slate: the Rockies, the Pirates, and the Rangers. Those are the 3 teams I'm going to be going to a lot. I will be sprinkling in some Mets though versus John Lester. Mets have a low total, but I just don't believe in John Lester. I don't think he's a good pitcher. Guys like Ahmed Rosario, Pete Alonso, Wilson Ramos, J.D. Davis, Todd Frazier, I think these guys are pretty good plays. Pete Alonso is probably like one of the best one-offs on the slate. Even if you're not stacking the Mets, he's a great play at 5,200. And then you could definitely consider some Dodgers. They're not my favorite full stack, but I'll definitely be keying in on a couple guys. Jock I really like on Yahoo. Bellinger I really like on Yahoo. You could go to Jock on DraftKings as well. But mainly the Pirates, the Rockies, and the Rangers. 3 teams I'm going to be stacking the most. But now looking at BVP before we end the video, a couple of BVP plays that stand out. Anthony Rizzo's gone 10 for 23 with the home run off Jake DeGrom. Chris Bryant 5 for 14, 2 home runs off DeGrom. Rougned Odor doesn't have a great batting average versus Felix Hernandez, but he's gone 7 for 37 with 3 home runs. So 3 of his 7 hits have been home runs against Felix Hernandez. And then lastly, down here at the bottom, Manuel Margot 3 for 10 with a home run off Derek Rodriguez. So that's it for BVP, guys, and I think that is it for this video. Hopefully you did enjoy this video. Hopefully it did help you. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like down below before we get out of here. I would really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comment section below. Or like always, you can hit me up on Twitter at the DFS_GOAT if you do have any questions. But good luck tonight, guys. Appreciate you watching the video. We will see you in the next one. Peace.